Hey guys, it's January 11th, 2014, and this is my 1 year and 8 months on testosterone. I decided to make a video because a lot has changed since my last video. I think my last video was in Halloween time. Um, yeah, I'm back in New Jersey for good. I'll explain that story because I'm sick of everybody asking and I'm sick of having to explain it 500 times. Yeah, I moved to South Carolina with Melora in August. Lived with her mom for a month and then we got our own place and, things just didn't work out. It wasn't how I thought it was going to be. I loved having my own place. I thought that would make her feel stable, but it didn't. You can't make somebody else feel stable if they feel unstable. Even if you're there, even if you're there constant, it doesn't matter. Like, they have to feel safe and stable, and that's the only way it'll work out. Like, you can't pour yourself out just to make somebody else feel better. Like, it's not going to work. And you can't base your happiness off of somebody else because then you'll never be happy. And it wasn't working out. I made friends, and she was miserable that I made friends. First time in my life that I actually made real friends, and to have somebody hate them so much, it really bothered me. I never had friends just as Nathan, as just me. There was no past with them. It was just, hey, you're Nathan, we love you, that's cool. And for her to hate them so much bothered me a lot. And the fact that it just seemed like she wanted me sitting at home waiting on the damn couch for her like a little puppy dog. And I mean, I did that for 3 years of our relationship, and that's not what I want. I want to not base my happiness off of one person because I can't do that anymore. I need to base my happiness off of a whole bunch of friends. I need to base my happiness off of a lot of people because basing it off of one person is going to break you. It really is, because that one person will not be there forever. I mean, it's just simple as that. Whether they leave, something happens, it's life, And if you just sit there and you base everything off of one person, your life is never going to be what you want it to be. Because if you can't make that person happy and they're miserable, they're going to take you right down with them. And I can't live a life that way. I want to be happy as can be. I want to enjoy my life. Because you know what? Life's short and I want to have fun. I want to enjoy every damn day. I want to be goofy and silly and fucking outrageous because that's who I am. And when you get to a point in a relationship where you feel like you can't be yourself anymore, that's when you know it's done. And you can't just sit there and act like, oh, it's going to get better. You sit there and you remember everything from the past, and that's what keeps you there. You're like, oh, well, it used to be this good, and, oh, I remember everything. No. If you're living off memories, it's not going to ever be the same. It's not. You can sit there and be like, oh, I can't leave because, we felt this way about each other at one point. Well, it no longer feels that way, so why are you going to sit there and waste your time? I mean, that's really all you're doing. And that's what I felt like I was doing. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm doing everything I possibly can be doing to try to make this girl happy, and in the end, she's miserable. And in the end, I'm 10 times more miserable than she is. Because I'm wasting my time trying to make somebody happy who's never going to be happy from me. Because she's not happy with herself. And I'm happy with myself at this point in my life, I've been transitioning for almost 2 years. Like, I'm finally at a stage in my life where I'm feeling complete. And I'm feeling like, you know what, I am nothing but Nathan. And that's something that we all look for. It's something we search for and we think we're never going to find. And the fact that I actually feel it now, like, whether I've been with you for 3 years or not, like, I need to be happy. I need to be so happy that I know it's never going to go away. And right now, I'm sitting here in New Jersey with my family, and I can't tell you how happy I am. I am beyond happy, and there are no words to explain it. You know, here I am, I left. I up and went from New Jersey. Like, just left. And broke my family's hearts, you know? And I never thought I would ever, ever, ever be able to be back here, you know? To feel comfortable with them and feel safe with them because I hurt them. You know, they had all right to just, whoops, you're gone. You know, cut you out of our lives. And if they did, I wouldn't have held it against them, you know? Like, I did a lot of screwed up shit, and I up and left. I ran away. I did what my ex usually did, you know, up and ran from her problems. I've never done that in my life. Ever. And it was the worst decision I ever made. But doing so has been, you know, the biggest life lesson of mine. I survived on my own for 5 months. I could have done it longer, but I knew I didn't have to. I knew I didn't have to be upset and hating where I was. I knew I could be with my family who loves me no matter what. They're crazy. They love me no matter what. But, you know, it's the best part. Because no matter what happened down there, I knew that one phone call and my family would be there for me, even though I was shit to them. And that's when you realize that, you know, you search for this unconditional love from another person, and you don't realize that it's sitting there right in front of you sometimes. You really don't. Like, you just think, oh, that's my family. Well, yeah, it's your family. Like, there's nothing else out there that is going to love you more than your family. And even if they don't show it, they love you to death. And, you know, it's just, I'm taking it as a life lesson at this point. I'm 18 years old, you know, nothing lasts forever at 18, and I'm going to take it as it comes. You know, I lived on my own. I know what it's like. Oh, I know what it's like. Paying all the bills by myself, you know, no money in my pocket. I know what it's like, and I am more than grateful and thankful for my mother and my brother because they've been taking care of me forever, and I never really, you know, took the time to be like, wow, this is what they really do for me. And now I'm sitting here, and I know that for the rest of my life, I'm going to let them know how thankful I am for them, because I was on my own and I hated it. You know, it's a lot harder than we all think it is. We're like, oh, rent, this, that, oh, it's easy. No, like, it's not. You know, you pay your rent, you pay your bills, and then look, you got nothing but the place you're living in. And who cares about that sometimes? You know, you need to have a little bit of fun in your life. You can't just be paying for a place and sitting there all the time. And with my bills, I couldn't even buy my own food half the time. I met the best friend that I will ever meet there. He lived right across the goddamn yard from me, could see our patios, standing on each other's patios, could do freaking pterodactyl noises, and that kid fed me almost every night, you know. My ex didn't worry about if I had food. She didn't care, you know. It didn't matter. He fed me every night. Half the time I'd ask her to go get food, and I'm tired. Oh, well, you work at restaurants. You probably ate. I have not. Or you can starve yourself. I cannot. I'm a big boy. I like to eat. You know, I would have anxiety attacks from being alone all the time because all she would do is work, and she didn't care that I was home alone. And I would go over there, and, you know, they would comfort me. They would be there for me. And that's something I never thought in my life I'd ever find. I never thought it was possible for me to find people who loved me no matter what. You know? Here I had my family, and damn, this person comes in my life and he cares so much about me. You know, I just meet the kid and he cares about me. Him and his girlfriend, I mean, I'd give them the world. They can call me right now and be like, I need you right now, and I'd go. Because I know they do the same for me. I spent every day with that kid. Half the time I wouldn't be at his house when his girlfriend got home, and she'd be like, where the hell are you? Nate, we don't want you to go home. Like, that's a feeling that you never forget. When you feel so comfortable and so safe with people, and the fact that she hated them so much, it killed me. Because in this short amount of time, they opened up their hearts and they opened up their home to me. You know, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to be so good to me. I'm just some random neighbor, you know? And here I am. You know, I'm with a girl for 3 years and I feel more comfortable with them. And that's when it shows, you know? When the only reason why I wanted to stay there was for them. Because I was scared that I'd never find friends like that again. Yeah, I loved the girl. Can I say I love her anymore? No. I'm too broken for that. You know, you pour yourself out into somebody and you give every ounce of yourself to somebody and it's not enough. And it doesn't matter. Whatever you do isn't going to make them happy.